All right, so now we have our lightest blue color, and we're just going to start swizzling. We're going to just string it on just like so. Okay. So we're just working our way up to our darkest color. This is all you do. Okay, and just like that. Okay. Okay. And this is just going to be our base for our water. Nice blue, aqua blue water. Okay. All right. It's a good start there. And then if you don't like the way it looks here, it's gonna come, okay? So now we're gonna go with our next darkest blue, which is this Calypso blue. Okay. We're just swirling it on. Let the cup turner do the work, okay? It's gonna come. Okay. Alrighty. Alright. And then our sky is going to be our darkest blue color here. And I've had this turning for about 6 hours before I started this part of the project, okay? We're just making our sky nice and blue. You know, the ocean is almost like the sky and the water, they meet. So that's the effects we're going for, okay? Okay. And then I like to put a little darkness down in the bottom also, just a little bit, not a lot. Okay. All right, so that's where we're starting, okay? Now we're gonna take our heat tool, our heat gun, and we're gonna take it and just let it kind of work its magic, okay? And this is just gonna make everything spread. Remember, this is just our first go. So you see here, it's starting to look a little bit like water, getting the colors there. So you notice the first time that I went in, I'm actually did kind of a back and forth kind of swivel motion. Now I'm going to change the direction in which I do so I get like waves, okay? So we're going to start back with our lightest color. Okay, and this time I'm going to make more of like a circle kind of motion. Okay. We're just going in with our lightest color. And now we're just making that circle kind of a motion, okay? You know, we want it to kind of give us some waves in the water, right? This is how we're going to get that effect. And I do the white this way because you do have a little bit of white in your water, okay? Okay, Okay, this is our lightest color. Get a little bit more of that light color. And we're just going in and doing drops. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go with our next darkest color. And then see how I'm just giving it waves, giving it nice circles, okay? Nice loop-de-loop circles. Okay. This is a great tumbler for those people who are traveling this summer. This is a nice little gift to give someone to make. Okay, now we're going to do just big waves, okay? All right, now for our sky, we're gonna go for that dark blue kind of color. And we're gonna just go back up in the top, okay? And let's put a little blue down in here for the water. Okay. And again, you know that the water kind of, almost when you're at the beach, it looks like the water and the sky meet. So that's the effect we're going for here, okay? All right, it's running. So now we're gonna take our heat tool and help it spread. And then if you feel like it's too much white for you, you can keep going with your blues, which I do. And I want to come in with a little bit of this light kind of blue color. Okay, in here. Okay, and then let's kind of give it a little whirl. Whirly-loo, whirly-loo. I don't know why I say whirly-loo, but hey, it is what it is, okay? So there we go. We're just giving a little color, a little bit more color to get some of that white out of it. Again, it's your preference. You're gonna work it till you get the color saturation that you like, okay? All right. Okay, all right, so that's that one. Now I want to go with a little bit more of the darker kind of aqua color for up in here. All right, and again, you're just playing with your colors until you get everything the way you want it to look, okay? We're just swirling it. Swirling it. And by doing the paint like this and mixing it with the epoxy, you don't have to do another layer once this dries. You won't have to do another layer of epoxy over the top of this. You'll be able to go right into your vinyl. And that's the advantage of mixing up your epoxy with your colors, okay? So there. We're just putting a little bit more of this darker kind of color. Let's put a little bit of it down here. Come on, drip. All right, drip, drip. And a little here. Okay. Just put a little color there. All right. And then I'm going to come back up at the top and get some more of this darker blue up on the top, okay? For my sky. Where the sky and the ocean meets. I mean, I know they really don't meet, but when you're at the beach, it really feels that kind of vibe of the sky and the ocean become one. So that's what we're going with here, okay? Right, and so I'm just putting a little bit more blue on there. Because again, this is my sky. Okay. And I think that's it. Then we're going to give it one more spin with the heat gun, and then we'll go to our next step, okay? And then you can even kind of put your gun so to blow it in the direction you want the color to go. So see how I'm pushing that blue up? Okay. I want it to go more. Yes. Perfect. Okay. See how everything comes together nicely? The colors, nice layers. So here, we don't have the sand at the bottom on this one, right? So there's a couple of options. You can do some brown acrylic paint like we did the blues and mix it in some epoxy for your sand and then drizzle it down at the bottom and paint that part brown. Or, for me, I'm a girl. I like glitter. So, I'm going to do a gold glitter. And this is the glitter I'm using. And I'm going to just sprinkle it at the bottom, okay? Give it a nice cover. Okay. And if you do decide that you don't want the glitter for the sand, and you just decide to mix it with acrylic paint, which, like I said, you can do. If you go that method, then you won't have to do another layer of epoxy. But if you decide to do glitter for the bottom, then you will need to epoxy before you vinyl, okay? So it's your preference. You don't have to do a glitter for the sand. And because it's rotating, it's gonna knock all of the excess glitter down on the bottom here. And I do have foil sheets under here to catch all of my mess. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hey, when you're crafty, you're gonna have a little mess, okay? You're creating. All right, there's my sand. And you don't want it even because, you know, the water comes up on the sand meets the water. That's the point, okay? All right, so now we have that going and turning. Now for this step here, you need to let this dry for about 6 to 8 hours, and then you can come back and epoxy over the top. And for that, you would just need about 10 milliliters. You could do 5 and 5. 5 milliliters of your hardener and 5 milliliters of your resin. And then stir it and mix it. And you just want your clear like this. And then you would just run it over the top, okay? So we're going to let this go.